Welcome here into Teal, the show. They let them score 26 points in the fourth quarter. Yep, we got a long show we got to talk about. Kyle, it was an ugly game in Houston. They scored 26 points in the fourth quarter. Davis Mills.
It was not pretty. I know it was a loss. It was how they lost that was the problem. And we have a decent amount to talk about, but me and you can make an agreement right now. We'll get through this, and then we clean the slate. We won't talk about it again. Can you make that promise to me?
Yeah, because
Okay, cool.
Davis Mills has 6 career wins, and 3 of them came against the Jaguars. Yeah. And one of them was a fourth quarter comeback where they scored 26 points in the fourth quarter, and the Jaguars blew a 19-point lead.
Sometimes they say the tale of two halves. This was the tale of 3-1 quarters. And
you know, Liam Cohen has said multiple times. He said it last week. He said it on Friday last week that the Jaguars hadn't played 4 quarters of their best football yet, and that still stands to this day. To this day, they played 3 quarters on Sunday,
and they got off to a faster start. They looked good, but they fizzled out in that fourth quarter, and they can't let that happen.
No. Whew.
But we did talk to Coach Cohen today, and the one thing that really kind of steered the whole conversation was that they can't let this loss beat them twice.
We just talked about as a team that, you know, this game can't beat us again. It can't beat us on Sunday at 1 p.m. because we're kicking off against the Chargers and have a very quality opponent coming into town. We're back at, we're at home, and nothing, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's just the next opportunity that we have to go try to get a W. I mean, that's the reality, is that we gave up a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter, essentially, and didn't get it done. Their back was against the wall, and they played like it. They played like it, and we didn't. And so those are tough ones to swallow, as you mentioned. They are. And, it's hard to move forward, but come Wednesday, we're preparing for another opponent. When the players get back in the building, we are preparing for another opponent. We got to get this tape fixed and corrected and moved on. But, I'm not worried about losing the team by any means.
Yeah, look, they have a lot to get corrected. You blew a 19-point lead. The Texans played like their back was against the wall. Well, now the Jaguars, their back kind of is against the wall now. This is a huge game against the Chargers this week because now you're still playing catch-up with the Colts, and you're trying to keep yourself in the race for a wild card spot. So now another team that's in the race for a wild card spot, the Chargers, come to town. This is as close to a must-win game as you got because it's a slippery slope. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and they would have lost all 4 of those if it wasn't for Devon Hamilton's first pass deflection since 2022. So it ain't exactly like that was a high percentage play. Like, that was luck. That's just, call it what it is. That was luck that you got out of Las Vegas with a win.
Yeah, there's not a bigger response that they need until this week. And so they have to make it through. And we'll talk all about that Chargers game. But we do have to go back just a little bit and hand out some grades to this Texans game. I'm not ready for it, but let's start where we normally start with the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence.
He played. Look, if I start listing all of the, things that went wrong for the Jaguars, Trevor's not in my top 3. But he didn't play well. He played fine for the most part. He did get them in a position to win the game. He completed the pass to Parker Washington. But a penalty took it off the board, and we don't play close to or could have been. So, overall, look, the offense didn't get a first down to keep a drive alive. So, at best, I can give him as a D+. That's the best I got for him. He didn't play awful. He missed some opportunities. I'm not going to fault him too much for the interception because that was just a great play by Stingley. But, the offense didn't get a first down. At the end of the day, the buck starts and stops with the quarterback. He's got to be better. He's got to be better. He can't take a sack on the first play of the drive when you're trying to go down and get in field goal range because then you got to blow the timeout. D+ is, and that might be being generous, honestly.
It might be generous. I think it's kind of fair. Like you said, he's not on the main list of causes, but he definitely didn't help. Let's go maybe a little more positive one. Let's go Parker Washington. You mentioned him in there. He did make some plays.
Well, Parker's probably the only positive grade I got, so give him A+. I think Parker had the punt return for a touchdown. He made the big touchdown catch. I mean, the one bright spot offensively was Parker Washington's play, but I mean, it wasn't even a crazy productive game for him as a receiver, but he did make some big-time plays, including the touchdown and the punt return, so I'll give him an A. That one's easy.
Okay, all right, and here's an extra one real quick that I just thought of. Jacoby Myers, first game, he did make a couple plays. What'd you think about him?
Sure, I won't fault Jacoby. I think Jacoby made a tough catch on the sideline. He made the touchdown catch that could have stood. I think, look, Jacoby played fine for what it was. He ran blocked well. I'll give him an A. I mean, he basically picked up 75% of the offense, according to Liam Cohen, in a matter of days. So I'll give him an A for that. I think Jacoby Myers is a good addition to the team and overall performed pretty well. Okay,
all right, fair enough. Here's some of the probably not so good. Let's go defensive line next.
F. The Texans are the worst offensive line in football. And that's not just me speaking. I mean, they arguably are. They've been decimated by injuries. They've given up sacks. And somehow the Jaguars front four couldn't sniff Davis Mills. Sniff him. He had enough time to knit a sweater before he found Dalton Schultz in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, F. It was bad. They couldn't stop the run. You couldn't rush the passer. So, in other words, the defensive line was just there.
You needed one stop, you needed one pressure, one sack, anything in that fourth quarter, and you couldn't come up with it. So, I mean, I think an F, that's, again, another fair grade. But so we've graded a lot of the players. Let's go Coach Liam Cohen here. What would you give the head coach on this one?
They blew a 19-point lead? F.
Very true.
He's the offensive guy, and the offense couldn't not go 3 and out for the whole fourth quarter. He can't get a passing grade for that. You blew a 19-point lead. The largest blown lead in Jaguars franchise history.
That's just a fact. So you said, Trevor, not in the top 3. What would you say was the number 1 reason for the collapse?
Offensive line was terrible. F isn't low enough for how bad the offensive line played. Abysmal outing from the offensive line. I mean, absolutely terrible. The Jaguars lost in the trenches on the offensive and defensive sides of the football. It was completely bad there. I mean, they have to figure it out. Are they a banged-up football team now? Yes. But is that an excuse for how bad they were in the trenches in the second half of that football game? Absolutely not. They've got to be better. They have got to be better. That game felt like, or it has the potential to be like the Miami game was last year, where they played, they had the lead, and then Etienne fumbles the football, and then it felt like the season was lost from that moment on.
Just snowballs.
It just snowballed. And now they're at crisis point with this Texans game. You blow a 19-point lead, so you have an opportunity to either relive what happened exactly last year and it snowballs the rest of the way and you fall apart, or you can rebound and rewrite it. And they have to try and do that this week because there's nothing you can hang your hat on from what happened in Houston. I mean, I guess maybe you can say the first half you were playing fine, but it was overall a bad outing. But we'll keep moving forward. We got a little bit more time left here until the show. We got a Duuuval dial-up that we'll play for you right after we come back from this quick break.
I have a list of grievances for those who played for us named the Jaguars. Offense and defensive line. You all got a lot of problems that y'all need to fix. And y'all need to fix it immediately. Piss or sorry. You cannot be serious. They marched down the field on you guys like it was nothing. All in the fourth quarter. And it's a backup quarterback. Why don't we do it? We believed in you, Liam Cohen, but you didn't run the ball. Why? Please tell me why. Please, if you need help, I am available. Bush Drive is right down the street from the stadium, 15 minutes away. Come and get me from Bush Drive, and I will let you know what you have. 5 years, okay, I've known trouble. And I can tell you everything, okay, the analytics is not telling.
Look, I get it. The people are noticeably upset. It was a problem. You cannot blow games like that. We love these Duuuval dial-ups. We want to know good, bad, ugly. Give us a call, and you might hear yourself here on Teal the Show.
Dial
or
it
Channel
up.
4. Dial it up. 904-391-3661. And give us a call on the Duuuval dial-up. You might be a part of Teal the Show. We want to know good, bad, ugly, everything in between. In this case, it's ugly. I mean, it's about as bad as it can get. I know there's a lot of frustrated fans out there.
Yeah, that dial-up was scary. This fourth quarter was scary. So I agree. But here's the thing, Jamal. The team is still, 5 wins, 4 losses. This is a big game, but is it time for fans to panic? Hit the panic button.
You didn't tell me. I'm not prepared. I would have brought my panic button with me to decide if we were going to hit it. But look, overall, I think if we're going into the season reasonably, if we said the Jaguars were 5-4, most people would take that. Now, it's the route that they've gotten to this point that people are going to have a problem with. You got blown out by Seattle, you got blown out by the Rams. But I'm willing to flush those because the Seahawks and the Rams look like the best teams in football right now. So I'm willing to move past those, right? Okay, well, you come back and you also lose to the Texans after you had a 19-point lead. You barely eke out a win against the Raiders. This is a scary 5-4. So the panic button, I don't know if I'm like slamming it just yet, but because they do still control their own destiny. Complete control of their own destiny. All you got to do is go take care of business and you're in the postseason. But after watching what happened in Houston, I'd be lying to you if I wasn't hovering over and maybe I might have a finger on it. I have a finger on a panic button.
That's fair. That's fair. Like you said, it really all comes down to this next game and to see how they handle and how they respond. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Yeah, look, we'll talk more about the next game against the Chargers on Friday's episode of Teal the Show. Hey, Jaguars are back at the bank, so we'll be back at the slab. We'll be tailgating, and hopefully if you're out tailgating, come out and see us. We'll be over at the slab at our setup. If you're not and you want to get all the Jaguars vibes, you can tune in on Sunday from 11 to noon right here on Channel 4. We'll count you down to kickoff, have a little bit of fun along the way. Hey, we appreciate you spending some of your Monday night with us here on Teal the Show. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday, and maybe we'll have a little bit more fun and positive things to talk about for the Jaguars as we count down to that Chargers game. Good night, everybody, and go Jags.